Welcome to Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Thursday and Friday, April 21st through the 22nd of 2016. I'm Astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Now I'm doing a special full moon report going into the 2 days because this full moon is literally happening in between days depending on where you're at. And so this is going to be a very powerful full moon, and there's a bunch of other transits happening, so I wanted to do a special report. And of course, I'm doing my spiritual dance music. You can check that out on Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific at spiritualdancemusic.com or on my YouTube. But before we get to all the plans, let's take a look at the Leo King planet energy meter to understand where all the energy is for your Thursday and Friday full moon. Hopefully that you have a wonderful time. I'm sending you all my best energy, all of my, well, not all of it, but lots of my love and light. And I'm putting the energy meter at the extreme position for this next 2 days and this full moon. That is because we are at a full moon in Scorpio, baby. Woo! Where the moon is at its detriment. Remember, the sun is in Taurus, so this is kind of an interesting energy, right? Taurus is all about the flowers, the brightness, the harvest, the grounding above ground. Scorpio is all about everything below ground, underneath, exposing things, looking at the deeper aspects of life, the darker things as well. Very bipolar signs. Actually, I think the most bipolar signs are Scorpio and Taurus, believe it or not. I just think they are. They're extremely bipolar, definitely dealing with light and dark, definitely dealing with, physical and non-physical, definitely dealing with life and death. And so this is kind of a life or death moment in the middle of retrogrades. You got to remember, Mercury is retrograding in the next week in the sign of Taurus, where we are going to rethink our harvest. We're going to rethink the things we're manifesting. We're going to rethink the things that we value. We just had Pluto retrograde. We just had Mars retrograde, and they're going to be retrograding for months and months at a time. So literally, when it comes to our direction, when it comes to the changes in our life, we're at a very weird cross tipping point. And I think that this is revealing the things that we need revealed. We might have felt very stagnant. A lot of this energy could feel stagnant. I'm unsure of where things are going. I'm unsure of how this is all going to happen. How am I going to get my energy going? How am I going to feel? A full moon in Scorpio will wake you the hell up. Let me tell you, it'll smack you in the face. It'll pull the zombie out of the ground. It'll spook you when you need to be spooked. But the good news is, it'll also reveal the things that you want, It's where you reveal the treasure chest. Remember, Scorpio rules, going into tombs and unveiling the treasure in the tomb. Sometimes there's a curse with it. Just watch The Mummy. It's actually on Netflix right now. But, there's things that can be done there with Scorpio. And this is unearthing treasure. I think that this is unearthing the real understanding and reminding Taurus what the hell to make. Scorpio kind of reminds it, it's like, it's great. You might want to build grapes, but at the end of the day, you hate grapes. It's like, oh yeah, well, I might make money making grapes, but at the end of the day, I might not be physically satisfied. Or, especially because now this is why I'm doing a 2-day freaking special, which I very rarely do, okay? The reason why I'm doing a 2-day special is Venus. Venus just squared Pluto, just trine Saturn, but here it is going to conjunct Uranus through this full moon, and it's squaring Pluto through it. So when it comes to our relationships, when it comes to our values, and that's what's already being highlighted, especially with this full moon in Taurus, this full moon in Scorpio with the sun in Taurus, you have to realize that this is a very powerful time for us to really make some crucial decisions about what we want, and this is highlighting relationships more than ever. Why are you in a relationship that you don't even, maybe it might hold some certain type of values that you appreciate, but Scorpio kind of reveals, they don't even get you off, That's why I love Scorpio, because it's just the truth, it's just exposing the truth. It's you look at that girl down the street more. And that's harsh about Scorpio. But people don't deal with harshness well. That's why Taurus is such a stubborn sign, and it can be very, very I don't want to deal with it. I'm just going to walk away from this situation and go find a beautiful tree and sit here and not deal with the real reality. Sometimes, Taurus, that's why the 12th house of Taurus is Aries, where it kind of has to always pull itself out of traps that are very difficult because Taurus sits on things for too long. And I think this Scorpio energy is saying, hey, wake up. What is it that you really value, and what is it that you're passionate about, and what is it that you really want to connect with? What makes you exciting? Venus on Uranus is a very exciting transit, especially in Aries, fired up, And a lot of this Mars retrograde now that we're in is re-looking at your beliefs, re-looking at your long-term energy, especially with Saturn retrograde there, and re-looking at, what is the story that you're painting in your life, and is it valuable? Is it what you have one of passion? Or maybe you need to start rewriting this effing story because you're not passionate about it enough. You're not really into it enough. And this Mercury retrograde in Taurus that comes starting next week and goes into May until May 22nd is literally going to be a re-look at the whole entire fabric of your whole foundation as far as what you're manifesting in your life, what you're creating, and what you're holding on to, and what you're doing with it all. So, what a full moon to have. What is your wake-up call? What is your real passion? And is that really aligned with what is being created right now? Is that really in alignment with what, especially in relationships, are you just in a relationship because it's good or whatever? But where's your carnal, emotional, deeper desire at? And does that kind of get in the way of building something that really at the end of the day, you might make it and it might be great, but at the end of the day, and it's like when you buy a new car, the first for 2 weeks is great. 5 weeks later, 2 years later, it's not new anymore, you can give a crap about it. Was it the most passionate car that you really wanted to be able to keep loving it even through that kind of new phase? A lot to think about with that. Card of this full moon is the Four of Pentacles reversed. How ironic, because you know what? This card is all about really learning to be kind of, I hate to use the word, but it is greedy. It is holding on to things that you really want, to be precious, right? Give me my precious. This card is all about. But when it's reversed, it's like, I don't have a precious. I don't even know what precious is. It's like, well, maybe it's time for you to do some checks on what you really want here. Maybe it's time to check your hunger. Maybe it's time to really check if you're eating what you like. Maybe it's really, one thing about Taurus and Scorpio too, does it smell good? Does it taste good? Does it feel good? Or is it really not aligning right? This has to do with pheromones, especially with Venus on Uranus. And are the pheromones of the things that you're in right now really, I'm just going to get really real here, all right? When you meet somebody and man, you guys hit it off and the pheromones between you two are just like, you just love the smell of them, As a guy, there's something about a beautiful woman and our pheromones mix. It's just like, woo! But then, you can see this beautiful person and you connect with them and you're like, oh man, I don't get that smell. I don't get, and even the touch, why does your skin feel like this? Even though you look so good. That's what this full moon is all about. Thanks so much. I am sending you all the best energy. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and on my SoundCloud where my 432 hertz master DJ mixes are on there to help you get through anything. And you can join me for the live show, which is going to be on Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for all the support. Hope you get the app, the LeoKingApp.com, if you want to watch these exact horoscopes every day. Thanks so much, and I will see you on the next report.
Thanks.